Hi my loves, or as I would say in Spanish, hola mis amores. Welcome back to this corner of my world. Today I'll be sharing with you a travel guide to El Valle del Cocora, the Cocora Valley, which is the inspired location in Disney's new movie, Encanto. The Cocora Valley is located in the department of Quindío, nestled within the Eje Cafetero, the coffee growing region, and is part of Los Nevados National Natural Park. The valley's most valuable and treasured assets are its wax palm trees, making them Colombia's national tree. And yes, the world's tallest wax palm trees live here. The Cocora Valley was named after Quimbayan civilization's princess Cocora, meaning Star of Water. She was the daughter of local chief Acaime. The Quimbayan people were the earliest known inhabitants of Colombia, and they were known for their detailed and technical gold work. You can actually find some of their gold work in the Gold Museum in Bogota, El Museo de Oro. I'll be sharing with you ways to get here, what to do while here, towns to visit, and more. However, before I do that, I would like to mention that the Cocora Valley was exploited in the past for its wax, used to make soaps, candles, fuel, leaves for Palm Sunday celebrations, and so on. But in 1985, the government ratified Law 61, which created protection and preservation of this land. While I was there, one of our tour guides expressed their concern as 3 years ago, a mining company wanted to buy the land to exploit it for minerals. This would absolutely destroy this habitat, ruin the local town's water supply, and most of all, damage and kill nature and wildlife. This company claimed that this project would bring locals many job opportunities, but we all know that it would actually just line up their pockets with a piece of paper or digital number, money. So I wanted to mention this to remind you that there's nothing richer than the fresh air we breathe in this area, the wind we feel on our skin, and the picturesque views that you get here. Always, always, always advocate for your mother, our mother, planet Earth. Please subscribe, like, and share so we can be friends and stay connected. There are many ways to get here depending on where you're coming from. If you're coming from outside Colombia, flying into Pereira, my birth town, or Armenia would be the best move, as both cities are about an hour away from the Cocora Valley. But come to Pereira, you'll love it. There's a direct flight from Miami into Pereira or from Fort Lauderdale into Armenia. Once you're in either two cities, you can head to each respective bus terminal, which will take you to Salento for under $5 for one-way tickets. From Salento, you'll have to take a Jeep Willys to the Cocora Valley, which will cost you way under $3. You'll see them in the town square, lined up waiting for passengers. They tend to leave every half hour, and this ride is going to be an experience on its own. You won't need a seatbelt. It might get crowded and bumpy, but it will be a ride to remember. You can also rent a car from the airport, giving you the freedom to move as you please. The car rental can cost you anywhere from $50 to $100 a day, depending on the car you get. If you do so, type Cocora Valley onto your GPS and it will take you straight there. If you're going from Pereira, be aware that there's a toll you'll have to pay, and tolls here are only cash, so make sure you carry cash while you're in Colombia. On the way here, you'll pass through the outskirts of Salento, but we'll talk about that later. Once you've arrived to the Cocora Valley, what can you do here? Well, you came to Colombia for its nature, right? So hiking is definitely the main attraction here. If you want to experience the magical realism as the family in Encanto does, then this hike is a must. You'll encounter the beauty of Mother Nature as you look up to the wax palm trees. You'll witness waterfalls, a forest-like jungle, and animals such as horses and cows. You'll be immersed in what feels like an enchanted heaven, or like you're experiencing the movie itself, where you're the main character. There are 3 different hikes you can take. I suggest doing your research or asking when you get there which one would be the most beneficial for you. The hikes can take anywhere from 3 to 5 hours, so make sure you bring comfortable shoes and clothes that you don't mind getting muddy or dirty. Bring a rain jacket or a sweater as the weather can change at any moment. Also, don't forget to bring water and snacks as you'll definitely feel the hike. However, make sure to take everything back that you came with.
And we're going up this hill, but Jesus, this is a workout.
Some parts of the hike tend to be a little steep, but don't be discouraged by this though. The hike can be done at your own pace and you can turn back around when you feel like it. You will have to pay a small fee to pass through a private finca when you start the hike, but it's less than $3 per person. Depending on how far you go into the hike, you'll find a finca where you can rest and enjoy some hot chocolate or agua panela, a traditional drink made out of sugarcane. You can also run into a hummingbird sanctuary finca where you'll also have to pay a small fee to pass through. Altogether, if you decide to do the longest hike, you'll most likely pay under $5. You can also camp at the Cocora Valley with different companies that offer tents and similar experiences. I've never been camping here, but I'll leave some sites in the description below so you can check them out to start your research.
Mi rey precioso.
Ok.
Gracias por este viaje que me estás mostrando.
¿Hay que llevar esto, no?
Another thing you can do is horseback riding through the valley. If you know me and you have seen my other videos, then you know how torn I feel about horseback riding. However, I cannot be a hypocrite as I've done it before. So I did my research for this video to see if I would recommend this activity or not. I read multiple sources and there are pros and cons to this activity. So I learned that there are two sides to the coin. Some say that horseback riding is a way to bond with the animal, while others say that it can hurt them. I advise you to please be responsible and connect with the horse before you ride them. Thank them for letting you ride them and send them love as you ride them.
I was a little nervous. I feel really bad for, getting on top of horses, but the guy was explaining to us that they used to be working horses that were actually rescued from arrieros, which is people here that, go from, let's say, town to town, and they would make these horses carry really heavy stuff, wood, and just a lot of stuff. And so they were rescued, and now they only do tourist walks for about an hour and a half.
And as discriminatory as this may sound, if you're over 180 to over 200 pounds, please do not ride a horse. While I was there, I asked the local guides about what they do to take care of the horses, and they shared that the local government makes it mandatory for the horses to rest for a week after 2 to 3 days of work. I have personally seen the horses being set free in the valley to rest, which gives me some reassurance. However, if you're in doubt or it doesn't feel right, don't do it. I'm only sharing this because I have found that the more you tell someone no, the more they want to do it. So moderation and consciousness is everything. Now let's talk about Salento, the closest town to the Cocora Valley. Salento is a 20-minute ride to the valley, and it's a traditional, colorful, colonial town founded back in the 1800s. It's a touristy town not just for foreigners, but for locals as well. I can't tell you the times I've gone on a day trip since it's only about an hour away from Pereira. You'll fall in love with this little town as it represents the traditional Colombian pueblo. Since it is touristy, you'll find many hotels, hostels, or camping grounds to choose from. If you've seen my video of when I moved to Colombia back in 2020, then you might recognize the camping ground we stayed at in Salento called Monte Roca.
We've arrived to Camping Monte Roca, donde vamos a pasar una noche con toda esta gente.
Quizás 2 o 3.
Por lo menos una.
This camping ground is a great place to stay since they offer themed tents for around 80,000 pesos or less than $25 a night, or spaces for less than $10 if you want to bring your own tent. You'll get your own little space for your tent. I'll leave a link to their website below as well. And I do recommend this camping ground because we really did have a magical time here. There are many delicious restaurants to choose from in Salento, and many stores with beautiful artisan jewelry, clothes, traditional sweets, and souvenirs you can take back home. Don't forget to stop by El Mirador to see amazing views of the hills, nature, and the town, and enjoy a local coffee tour at a finca. If you have a couple of extra days in the area, you can also stop in Finlandia. Now this is an hour away from Salento, but it's another little town that's worth exploring. There is a glamping site that I've stayed at multiple times called Monte Tierra, which I strongly recommend, and the town also has fantastic restaurants and shops. There's also a high outlook you can go up to see the whole town, but I won't go into much detail about this place since this video is about El Valle del Cocora.
I just fucking busted ass going down this hill. That hurt.
Now to finish off, I'd like to share some tips and tricks to make your experience here as best as possible. Remember to bring a sweater as the weather can change quickly. Wear comfortable shoes and clothes. Carry cash, as a lot of places in Colombia, especially in little towns, don't allow you to pay with card. Although that's changing, but just carry cash. Practice your Spanish skills or use Google Translate to communicate. And this is a very safe area, however, do use your intuition as a precaution. And last but not least, have fun and enjoy Mother Nature. Don't forget to connect to her and thank her for all its love. Also, check out the links in the description below for little recommendations that I have for different things that you can do. I hope this video has given you a little introduction to El Valle del Cocora, and I hope that it helps you plan your trip to El Valle del Cocora and Salento. It's a trip you won't forget and you'll be glad to have done it. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below and I will answer them with all the love in the world. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and share it with your family and friends that you'd like to come here with. I love you and I'll see you in another video.